Welcome to a beautiful Friday morning, March 14th. It's kind of a day of countdowns. We have like 9 episodes to episode 1000 of the show. We have like 61 days until ASOTUCON. We have like 12 minutes until the show's over.
I just want to let you know, it is 60, which is 60 days till ASOTUCON. It's actually like
60.
You could say 59 and a half. You could say 60.
Oh, because
it
the
depends
welcome
on how you like to
reception
count
would
days.
technically.
You know, it's like I always, you
like
know,
the
you
higher
mess with
number.
people that count days till Christmas the wrong way. We probably do the same thing for ASOTUCON, but
I like the higher number. Listen, you know, ASOTUCON, presented by our friends at Reynolds and Reynolds and Gooba Goo is coming in super hot. We found out yesterday that we probably have like in the open block like 20 hotel rooms left.
oh my goodness.
It's
What a
not a
mess.
lot. And we did a webinar and we're doing a bunch of things, and somebody is coming to, so I can't remember, and they were coming to ASOTUCON, and we said, "Did you book your room?" And they're like, "No." And we're like, "We have like 20 left." They're like, "Oh my gosh." Don't say we didn't tell you.
Don't say we didn't tell you so.
We don't want to hear it. But you do need to be at ASOTUCON. It is going to be a full packed event full of people you want to hear from, panels you want to learn from, people you just want to be around and be with, hundreds and hundreds of them. And May 13th through 15th, main days 14 and 15 in Hanover, Maryland. It's so easy to get to from BWI Airport. It's not even funny. You need to be there. Go to ASOTUCON.com, check it out, and there we go.
There we go. Hey, we got a webinar today.
This is the deal.
You talked about that a second ago. I'm really excited about this webinar because we got a little fun planned for it. A little like, you know, messing with Paul. Maybe we're selling.
There's a picture of my house I hear is going to show up.
House. Yeah. So we're going to be with Robert Blessing of Renew Energy and talking about just what sustainability looks like when it comes to charging, at home charging, and the potential for solar power to be involved in that. And I think it's a really unique topic, especially for different pockets of the country that are trying to serve their customers with charging opportunities in their home and not making it like a cost on top of the car that's going to hurt them.
And I'm so jealous. Can you imagine if you had the last name Blessing?
What a
Can
blessing.
you imagine how much easier your life would be?
Mr. Blessing, we actually, like random side story, we named my oldest daughter's middle name Grace. And I think like it's one of those things where it's like every time you say the kid's middle name, you're like, oh, golly, you know?
Get a reminder. I didn't know her middle name was Grace.
Yeah. So there you
Brooklyn's
go.
middle name is Grace.
Of course it is, naturally. Okay.
Oh, the things we figure out on this show. Let's talk about some news because, boy, it's been like several days and we said we are not going to talk about tariffs or anything like that. And we took a little breather. But, I mean, we just have to just talk about it today. An interesting angle, though. President Donald Trump met with General Motors CEO Mary Barra at the White House to discuss the automaker's commitment to U.S. manufacturing. The meeting, which took place amidst ongoing industry discussions about domestic investment and job creation, highlighted GM's plan to expand its U.S. operations. They signaled plans to invest, guess what, $60 billion in the U.S. manufacturing and production ecosystem. Trump and Barra discussed ways to enhance domestic auto production and bring more assembly jobs to the U.S. The meeting following, obviously, discussions with Ford CEO Jim Farley, Stellantis Chairman John Elkann, and about their industry-wide investments. So GM's like, watch this. Automakers are looking for some policy stability, obviously, on tariffs and vehicle emissions before making major long-term commitments, because it's the worst when you invest all that money and then something changes 4 years later. Batteries. Trump praised GM's efforts, and a GM spokesperson reaffirmed their support, saying, "We share President Trump's goals of a strong and competitive American manufacturing base."
Nathan, do you have the photo of Sean Fain on vacation in the Bahamas right now celebrating? Is that did we get that ready?
I think we have the live. We're setting up the live cam right now.
Set up the live cam. Sean Fain.
Yeah, I heard you can see the farmer's tan from space.
I'm not gonna be able to provide commentary after that one. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, clearly we're seeing a lot of shifts over the last 24 months from, you know, this like heavy all in on EVs and then a move to manufacturing. Still a lot of EV stuff in this conversation. However, you know, the majority of it around manufacturing stateside. Obviously, tariffs this week having a big impact on potential future planning. It seems like some of this stuff is going to be a mainstay, at least a weekend. We haven't seen much movement of the sort differently. You got Jim Farley out there meeting with the president. You got Mary Barra talking to the president. All these stateside manufacturers are definitely buddying up at this point because they recognize the looming threat of not doing that. We'll see what the impact of manufacturers outside of the U.S. and what their plans for some of this manufacturing stuff is. I think there'll probably be some more news on that in the second half of this month.
Oh, for sure. Speaking of news.
Segue.
Time. News, data, information. This has been a great report the last few months. The February 2025 Cars Commerce Industry Insights Report is highlighting how potential tariffs are affecting shoppers in the midst of slower demand. Basically, as the tariff threats began between February 16th and 22nd, searches on car shopping website cardist.com jumped 9% from the week before. So a bunch of people got in the market. 52.1%, get this, of inventory vehicles, that's vehicles in new car inventory, did have their final assembly point in the United States, while 18% in Mexico, only 4% were assembled in Canada, and 1.4% in China. So that's just showing what the tariffs could affect. Overall, new car inventory is up 8% year over year. But the trends are definitely split. Ford is up 24%. Hyundai, Chevy, Kia, and Honda expanded their supply, while Dodge is down 70%.
Naturally.
That's something else. The used EV market is growing with nearly 20 more models available year over year. Used non-Tesla EV searches are up 25%. So people are searching cars that aren't Tesla. Tesla searches declined 8%.
Yeah, well, we've talked a little bit about, like, I think it's market share declines, 4% market share decline for Tesla, and like 22% market share increase for non-Tesla EVs in the entire market, right? Obviously we've known that Stellantis brands are way overstocked in inventory. Looks like they're trying to change what their stocking plans are there by producing less. I think that the most interesting thing here is just the studies around how much impact we may have on these tariffs. And the real conversation, and we've always known this conversation, is not so much about the final manufacturing point and the tariffs on the entire vehicle, but the parts out tariffs, specifically steel, aluminum, and some of the parts manufacturing that gets imported from these countries. But I've been, like you said, I've been enjoying this report. I think it's highlighting some unique data points that we just haven't considered. And I love seeing like shopping behavior reports.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. First party. Yeah.
Well, and shopping behavior reports just know, like, your shopping behavior on third-party marketplaces have a 60 to 90-day impact on on showroom changes. So, if you're seeing that much, intent on non-Tesla EVs right now in April, May, you're going to see non-Tesla EVs be a big part of the market.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest takeaway, right? If that's the delay. And look, if the tariffs are still in play, it's definitely going to be a boost to the market in the short term, especially tax time. It's actually a great combo. I mean, I don't like all the tariff uncertainty. Neither do the markets.
No, they clearly haven't this week.
They clearly hate it. Right?
Yeah. Speaking of clearly hating it.
Oh, we're going to say the word.
So the pandemic was right about 5 years ago. If you don't know that, a little over a week ago, there was actually some posts about the basketball games that shut down that dreaded night. But the pandemic clearly reshaped the workplace. Remote work was at an all-time high, but it's been steadily declining while hybrid and on-site arrangements are gaining ground. In late 2020, 46% of workers were fully remote. Today, that number has dropped to 26%. Hybrid work has grown from 12 to 16%, but on-site work still dominates at 55%. Looks like companies are beginning to shift back to in-person work, citing things like collaboration, culture, and productivity. It seems like there are a lot of companies still saying flexibility is going to be built into the overall work environment, but they got office setups coming back into the marketplace.
It's interesting how the auto industry is truly a blend between these two, because if you're in a store, It's like you're 99%, 99% in person, never stopped, maybe changed a little bit. I do think that some people have, in certain situations, have adopted the opportunity to bring someone in remotely for specific tasks. But then you have the industry partner side who has probably, I really wonder what the number is, because you and I both operate a remote work company, right? Yep. And then with Congruent, the agency, there's a big in-person component. But when I look around at industry partners, without a doubt, COVID changed the industry partner in automotive dynamic forever, with a lot more remote work adopted and cars. I mean, a lot of companies took the opportunity to not be limited by their geography to get talent. And we saw that a ton. And downsizing office spaces, having one floor instead of two floors, and all those things. So I think the market always wins, right? And we've seen this, like what people are willing to do, what business management leaders are willing to do as they monitor productivity, monitor culture. And so it's no surprise to me. I think we'll always have some kind of split, but I think in-person will always be the dominant one. Without
it will. And because, well, one, you have so many brick and mortar businesses, but I think that so many people are learning that those water cooler moments are just so important. I know that it's, having, built these remote companies after 13 years of being in person, it becomes increasingly difficult the larger you get to maintain some level of culture, connectivity, to the entire team. So, it's not an easy thing. Super rewarding when you can go find talent anywhere, but, interesting to see the growth back to the office spaces.
I like it. We like being in person. We do.
I love it.
Well, look, I think called it. Where's the music?
You did call it.
There it is.
How did you call the 12-minute show today?
I have no idea, but I did call it 12 minutes, and this show is over because we all have work to do. Hey, check out Asodu on LinkedIn. We're going to have some really fun posts coming out this week.